Hi guys, and welcome back to another video game with the powers. I'm Jake, and in today's video, not only will I be showing you how to play the board game Barbaric, but we'll be taking a look at a couple turns of the solo mode of Barbaric after the apocalypse as well. Now, if you guys are not familiar of the board game or with the board game Barbaric, this is coming to you from Hexa House Games. This is a dudes on a map type game, essentially. I wouldn't say not necessarily a skirmish type game, but essentially the goal of the game is you are going to have what is known as a rider and a gear, and these pieces are going to combine together. You're going to have cards that you're going to be able to play to activate certain abilities, and your goal is either one of two things: to defeat all the other players on the map, or there is going to be a big bad monster in the middle of the table that is protecting an atomic coin, and your goal is to get to the center of that table, distract the monster by shooting him or moving him away from the coin, stealing the coin, and then moving off the map. So let's go ahead and jump down to the table, guys, where I got everything ready to go. All right, guys, so we are down here at the table where we have everything set up for our solo playthrough of Barbaric after the apocalypse. Now, there are a couple things that I do want to note. The very first thing is that the version of the game you're looking at here today is the Kickstarter all-in collector's edition of the game. So what does that mean? You are going to see components in here that you might not see in the retail edition of the game, or certain things that you might not see. A couple of these things are the card sleeves themselves. Okay, some of these other things might be the screen printed resources. All right, obviously the playmat itself with what we are playing on, and maybe these custom dice that you see here. Also to note, the miniatures that you are looking at here today do have the additional shadow shading add-on as well. This was an add-on you could have done throughout the campaign. So all of our miniatures have that shadow shading or sun drop finish to all of them, which is an exclusive add-on as well. The very last thing is, due to table space and camera view space, I have had to shrink the board presence here. The board is much larger than this, so what you can kind of see is the Lizard Queen, which I'll talk about here in a sec, and my rider and my gear boards down over here. They actually are on the game board itself. So if I zoom out the camera here, you might be able to now fully see the entire breadth of the game board. So what I'm just going to do for today's video is only kind of play in this area over here, and then this area for me over here is going to be where our monster board is, and my personal boards with kind of the cards or skills that I'm going to learn. But just note, in a normal playthrough, you would have this board and your rider and gear board somewhere else around the table and not on the actual game board map. But like I said, guys, for the purpose of this playthrough today, in sake of space, we are going to be using this side of the board for all of my personal components and stuff like that, and we're actually going to be only playing in this general sector here. Okay, so let's talk about the game, go over quickly some of the things that you're going to see here today, and actually want to note some of the differences between the solo mode and the actual two-player version or three-player version of the game that you might see. And there's not a whole lot of changes, just mainly the changes concern the monster itself. So, like I said, the overall purpose of the game is there is a big bad monster here in the middle that is protecting this nice shiny coin. This is also a Kickstarter exclusive, I should mention that. And so what my objective is to attack this monster to provoke it to move away from the coin. I have my trusty rider in gear here, which I'll go over in a sec. Sneak in, steal this coin, and then sneak back out and off to the map where I will be victorious. Now, like I said, in a 2 to 4 player game, you will have other players on the board. You can also attack those other players and defeat them as well. And once you defeat 2 players, or all the players on the board get defeated, you'll be victorious. So let's take a look first at your rider and your gear. So today I have chosen, if we get a good look there, I have chosen Pia Amber and Midas. So Pia Amber is going to be our mercenary and Midas is the golden throne. So how do these particular people work? So each one is going to have their own particular board that you're going to see right here. On this board is going to tell you the 3 actions that this rider can take. You will have some masteries and you will have a dial here for your health. And then we have our health tracker over here on the side. And you also have an action token. So the way it's going to work is on my turn, I will spend this action token to take one of these 3 particular actions. Do that action, this will become exhausted, and then I will have no more rider actions. Now, throughout the course of the game, I can get what is called a sub-stamina token, which is a green, and there are other cards in my hand that I can play that will use these sub-stamina tokens here. Okay, the next thing we take a look as this dial. So this is my health and stamina dial, and you can see right here, my health starts at a measly 2 points. As I activate skills, I can gain experience, and once I do that, this dial will continue to move up, and as it moves up, you might see my health increase. I also will gain access to sub-stamina tokens and then masteries as well as I move around this entire board. So this is kind of the rider section of the board, and you might see down here your rider and your gear will kind of combine to create one full gear. So let's take a look at the gear board here. So of course we have our 3 gear actions, our gear mastery, our shield health of the gear. The gears will use energy tokens. They work just like the stamina tokens. I'll use one of these to take one of these 3 actions. I can gain sub energy tokens, okay, to play cards related to my gear. And then of course I have my shield dial right here that will allow me, when I use a gear card or a gear skill card, that I can gain that particular experience. So you guys will choose your selected rider, you will choose your selected gear. Each of them come with their own deck of cards here. So when starting out the game, you have the option to select 4 cards from both these, 2 cards from your rider deck and 2 cards from your gear deck. You'll then take the rest of your cards and shuffle them together, and that will form your actual play deck, all right? So the 4 cards that I've chosen here is Headshot. All right, I've chosen Headshot, and I'll go over these cards in more detail. Reload, Invention, and Maintenance from Midas. So those are the 4 cards I'm starting with. You will also start off with one of each resource. There are 3 particular resources in the game: gas, which is blue, food, which is orange, and scraps, which are purple. So that should be everything you need to know about your rider and your gear. And of course, you will assemble them together, and then you will place them on one of these spots that has a star icon on the board. So we're over here. Okay, let's talk about the monster. Now, this is the kind of big change in the solo mode and the regular mode, is there's kind of 2 sides to the board. So this is the regular side of the board. This is the solo mode of the board. So I want to talk how the monster normally works. Your players, your rider and your gear, will work the same with their actions in the solo mode and the regular mode of the game, but the monster will change a little bit. So in a normal game of Barbaric, your monster will react based upon what you do. So when you deal damage to the monster, you'll see these monster reactions right here, and you would roll this particular dice, and then whatever you rolled, that is what you would do with the monster. So some of these are controlling the monster, making him move around, making him attack, and things like that. You also have stats of the monsters and the minions themselves at the start of the game, and then you have the monster phase action. So in a normal game, the monster will act at the end of the day phase. There's 2 phases to the game, or night phase, excuse me. In a normal mode of Barbaric, the monster will always act at the end of the night phase. Now, there is a minion tracker, which the monster can kind of enrage almost, and of course, I'll go over that when that time is necessary, but that is when the monster is going to activate. And the solo mode, the monster will activate at the end of the day phase and at the end of the night phase. However, at the end of the day phase, he's just going to do the monster action, where at the end of the night phase, he will do all three. In a normal game, he will do all three at the end of the night phase. So this is what the regular mode side of the board looks like. Here is what the solo mode side looks like. So the particular changes here is in the solo mode, the monster will get health, okay? Or like a shield almost. So his starting shield is a 3. So if I want to actually disrupt the monster, so instead of dealing damage to the monster straight up, I have to do more than 3 damage to kind of disrupt him. And I will roll the die, and whatever I get is what action we will do. And then, like I said, at the end of the day phase, the monster will take this action. At the end of the night phase, he'll take all 3. This frenzy level right here is as we move through the game, these are actually going to be covered up. And once he activates this frenzy level, these will come off, increasing the stats of both the monsters and the minions. So that is the monster board. And let me set this up really quickly. So the cube up here, this minion tracker, so every time I defeat a minion, all right, we are going to move this minion track up by 1. Whenever that gets to 5, the monster is going to enrage, and what he will do is he will place minions back on the board, and we will remove a frenzy token from there. Let me actually confirm that. I always forget. Rising Threat is what it's called. So the last player to defeat a minion chooses a number of minion spaces or nest spaces, and we'll respond to minions. We remove a rage token, and then we put the damage cube back on 0. Okay. I have a dice here to track his damage. We'll just leave this over here to the side. The very last thing that I want you guys to know is you will see these tokens over here. These are survivor tokens. So these are survivors that I can draw and unlock throughout the game if I choose to do so. We do have 6 minions available to us. There are a couple spaces on the board that we have to take note of. I cannot move into a nest space. Of course, I cannot move into an occupied space. If I ever finish my turn in this middle circle whirlpool, at the end of my turn, I will move 1 space. If I ever knock into anything, then I will take damage. Some hexes you might be able to see have a resource printed above them. They will, if I search that area, I will gain that resource. Now, the last thing, the last change in the game is, let me raise this back up. I don't know if you guys might be able to see or not, but in the top right-hand corner, you guys can barely see it. In the top right-hand corner up here, there is what is called an initiative track. So in a normal game of Barbaric, you guys will have an initiative order. So the bottom one you see right here is the night phase. The day phase is right above that. In a solo mode, the initiative track does not matter here, okay? So I do believe that is everything that you guys need to know. Whoa, never mind. Last thing, each player is going to get a special condition card of each of the 2 characters that they choose. Okay, these special condition cards are going to give information on that particular character, what certain abilities do, what certain abilities mean. So special condition here, randomly discard cards. Special condition, reclaim card, pay resources to boost damage, pay resources to reduce damage, all right? Also, on the back of these also serve as our player aid, okay? For the player phase. Okay, I know I've said that 40,000 times. We are ready to play, guys. Let's go ahead and dive in. So in a normal game of Barbaric, your very first phase would be that initiative phase up there, determining initiative and seeing who is going to go first. All that is, guys, is basically whoever is marker, and I'll show you what a particular marker looks like. So it's just a small little token here, that little token, and I'll actually leave it down here for you guys so you can see what it looks like. Whoever is in the first position, that would be the first player. So whoever is the first player, the second phase of the game is the event phase. So we will have an event deck with various things that are going to happen. So that player will draw an event card, and these event cards will occur throughout the entire round. So this one says Freak Wave. Each player either draws one card or gains any one resource. Ooh. So this will remain in effect for the entire round. So I can either draw a card from my deck or gain a resource. And let me look at what I want. I think what I'm gonna do actually here is gain a resource, and I will gain a gas, okay? Gas is good because you can use gas to move around the map without using the move action from your rider here. So that is the first phase, the event phase. Next, we go into our player phase. So I'll show you guys what this is. The very first step is our preparation phase here. So I have one of two options. I can learn a skill, all right, or I can spend a resource to take a particular action. So learning a skill is any card in your hand that is going to have resources up here in the top left-hand corner is going to be a skill. They are also going to be denoted by this triangle symbol. These are simply the first time I play this particular card, I will need to pay the resources, excuse me, in the top left-hand corner. The second time I play this card, I have to spend those resources and I can upgrade this card, and it would now do the level 2 skill as well on top of the level 1. So for example, you can see with Headshot, if I had 2 of these out, I would increase my damage by 1. So the very first thing I will do is actually learn this skill, and I will learn the skill Headshot. So I will need to pay 1 scrap for this. You can see here, this damage right here on this card, this is gonna show how far the range of this card, which is 3, and the range type, so this is a straight line. And it says deal 1 damage to the first target within range. If they are 2 or more spaces away, increase the damage by 1, okay? So any of your learned skills, I will pay my scrap resource, and then you will just put them somewhere in your particular play area. So I'll just put them up here, ready to activate. Okay, so that was my preparation phase. The other thing I could have done in my preparation phase, guys, was consume a resource. So I could have discarded a fuel to move 1 or draw 2 cards. I could have discarded that should say scrap. This is a misprint here. I could have discarded scrap to gain 2 shields or draw 2 cards, and then, well, food. That should be the food symbol, and the scrap symbol and the food symbol are switched. They should be switched up, okay? So what I can do is discard a food, which is orange, which is this food right here, okay? So I can discard this, which is food, all right, to heal 2 health or draw 2 cards. And then I can discard a scrap to either regain 2 shields or draw 2 cards, okay? So that is that preparation phase. In a regular game of Barbaric, what could happen is the first player takes their preparation phase and everybody else could take the same action that that player has taken. Okay. Moving on to our action phase. So now, like I said, we will be spending resources. So we will spend 1 stamina to do a rider action, 1 energy to do a gear action. My 3 available actions here are for the rider is search. So search the location I'm at and gain that indicated resource. If there's a question mark above it, I would gain a wild resource. The second thing I can do is first aid. So discard X number of cards from my hand. I'll be able to heal that much health, and then I would move my initiative marker to the first position. position. The last thing I can do is activate a rider skill, which I do have one right here. Your gear actions are going to be to move, repair, which is discard cards from my hand to regain shields and move my initiative to the front, or I can activate a gear skill. So the first thing we are going to do is I am going to activate, let's see, I have to move first technically. So what we're going to do is use the energy here on Midas, and we are going to move. So whenever you move, it's simple. You want move one space orthogonally or diagonally. So I will just move one space here in this direction. So that was my gear action. The next thing is I will activate a rider skill, which I will activate headshot. Okay, so remember my range on this headshot is a 3, and it has to be in a straight line. And it says deal 1 damage to the first target within range. If they are 2 or more spaces away, increase the damage by 1. So I am going to hit the monster. So 1, 2, 3. He is 3 spaces away. He is the first monster in that straight line. He is more than 2 spaces away, so I would deal an additional damage. So 2 damage on the monster. Remember, I must deal more than 3 to actually disrupt him. So what I'm going to do here is put this 2 on the big bad monster right there. And let me know I got 2 damage on him. So I have used a rider skill. So now what I will do is on my rider dial, I will move this up, okay? And now my total health, if you guys can see, is going to be 3. So now my total health is 3. The way they have you track health in shields is kind of weird, okay? They want you to start at the 0 space, and as you take damage, you move up 1, 2, and 3. The reason they don't have you start at 2 or 3 is because you do gain health like that. So, you know, I start with 2, and if I already had damage, it would be cumbersome to try and figure that out. So they just have you start at 0, and once you hit the number, that is your cap for the health. At any point in time, if your rider gets to its max health, your rider would be defeated. In the solo mode, that would count as a loss. And a normal mode, you would just go off the board, and on your next turn, you would come back. However, you would have to take one of these defeat tokens. If you ever have 2 defeat tokens, you are eliminated from the game. If ever your gear takes the max amount of damage for the shield, your rider, takes the max damage for their shields, they are basically disrupted, and they can no longer use the move action while they have no more shields. So there's a little tidbit of information right there. Okay, so I have taken both my rider action and my gear action. We would now move to the upkeep phase. So I would basically flip all of my tokens that I used and unexhaust them. And then what I would do is draw 1 card from my deck, and we get a radar system. So this is for my Midas goldfish. Regain 1 shield, gain any 1 resource, and this is a skill card. All right. So that is the end of the day phase. Now, in a normal mode or normal game, you would go to the night phase here, but in the solo mode, the monster is going to activate, and only the first part of the monster, which is the action, the monster action phase here, is going to activate. So we will draw 1 card from the monster deck, then apply the effect on the card using monster status and adding any bonuses on the frenzy level. So the monster card does have a deck. I have not shuffled this yet. Let's give this a nice shuffle. Whoops. And let's see what we get. So we have Claw Slash. All right. Claw Slash. Perform a move towards the nearest character, then attack the target. Okay. That is what we have. So he is performing a move. So our monster right now, I will show you guys, and he's going to attack. So he has a normal range of 1. He does 2 damage, and let me rephrase that. His movement is 1. He's got 2 damage, and he's got a range of 1. Our minions right now have 0 movement, 1 damage, They have a range of 1 and they have 1 health. Okay, so he will move, then attack. So the monster must move towards me. He will move 1 space towards me, perform a move towards near character, then attack the target, which he cannot attack me right now because thankfully I am out of range. Okay, so I survived, or I lucked out a little bit, but you notice our atomic core is exposed. That is the end of the day phase. Moving into the night phase now, we would need to draw a new event card. So we have El Nino. During this round, players cannot regain shields. Okay, during this round, players cannot regain shields. So I can now take an action, and I think what I will do is, I think I will activate my maintenance card, okay? So I will learn maintenance, so I need to spend 1 gas. This is use the move action, target regains 2 shields and 1 target. So I'm gonna put the maintenance action, or the maintenance skill up there. I do need to discard a gas for doing so, and that was my preparation phase. Okay, let's go with, interesting here. So I could damage him for 1. I could move and damage him there, but he's gonna move towards me and attack me, but it might be useful to just kind of do this. Okay, so what we're gonna do is use the Midas action here. So use the Midas action, and I'm actually gonna use this side of the board, I just realized. Use the Midas action so I can use the move action and regain 2 shields. So I will use my move action here. All right, I cannot regain shields, but I have used a gear skill, which will increase the dial up here, giving me 3 shields now. My rider action, I will use my headshot. So I'm targeting this particular minion right here. I will do 1 damage to the minion. This minion will be defeated. Anytime a minion is defeated, you will roll this resource dice. So let's roll this bad boy and see what we get. We rolled a blank, all right? So I get no resources, womp, 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 all right? We have also defeated that minion, so we must go up 1 space on the minion track. And I have used a skill, so I get to move up here. And I have access now to unlock a sub-stamina token. So remember, the sub-stamina tokens can be used to play non-skill cards from my hand or to activate one of my particular masteries. I do believe that is the end of my turn, so I must take all of my tokens back. I get to draw a card, and what do we have? We have another headshot. That actually might come in handy. Okay. Moving on to our lovely monster. So what we're gonna do now in this particular step is we are gonna do all 3 phases of the monster here. So we're gonna take that monster action again, then the minions actions are gonna go. So each minion targets the nearest player for their attack, and they are going to activate, and then we will respawn minions and take off the frenzy level. So this is our frenzy down here. So those are the 3 particular things that we are going to do. Let me drop this back. Okay. So monster action first. We will need to draw a card. We have Nuclear Beam. All right. Perform an attack against the furthest character with 1 additional damage. Hoo-wee. Okay. So normal damage is 2. I'm the furthest character away, so he's gonna do a nuclear beam on me. So let's see if there's anything I can do to get out of this. And, maybe, no, I think I'm just gonna take it. So I'm taking 3 damage, all right? So what we can do is split the damage up how we want. So I think I will take 2 damage on my gear. I will take 1 damage on my player, and that is going to be our monster action phase. Now the minions will all activate. Again, they have 0 movement right now, so they won't do anything. And then we are going to respawn this particular minion right here and discard a frenzy level token. So now our monster is going to gain 1 additional movement. So now his movement is 2. Okay, and I actually think the monster would move as well. So what he technically would have done is, this is the kind of confusing part about me, but this is how I play the game. So you're going to draw this card. It says you use this card and whatever stats the monster has, and you're going to play that out. So the monster has 1 movement, 2 damage, 1 range. So really it would move here for 1, and then I would get hit with the nuclear beam, okay? That is kind of how I interpret how the game should be played. If I am making a mistake, please drop that down in the comments below. So that was the conclusion of the monster phase. So now we would go back up to the day phase, and that is kind of 1 full cycle, guys, of how Barbaric is going to be played. So I'm just going to keep rolling through these turns and see what happens. So heavy fog. All right, all skills have their range reduced by 1 to a minimum of 1. Oof, that is brutal. Okay, preparation phase. I can increase my damage. I can move. I think that's what I'm going to do. So I think what I might do is spend a gas. All right. I'm going to spend a gas to consume a resource and move. So I will move to this particular location right here. So that was my preparation phase. Moving into my action phase, let's see. Only this guy's gonna activate. He's pretty much gonna hit me no matter what. So I think what I'm gonna do is use the Midas maintenance. Use the move action, target regains 2 shields. So I will move into here. I get to heal 2 shields. So we're gonna move this up, and we get to move my dial up 1, which gives me a sub stamina token. All right. I can actually eliminate both of these and don't really have to worry about that, which is what I might do. Okay. So what I will do is activate my headshot. So I will use my headshot with my stamina token. I will defeat this particular minion right here. This is going to move our tracker up, and I need to roll our resource die. And what do we get? A question mark. All right. A question mark is a wild. So I will take a gas. All right. And then I will use my sub stamina token here. I will exhaust this and play reload. So when Pia uses the activate a rider skill that deals damage, use that skill again. This additional use does not gain experience. Okay. So I will pop this guy right here, and we will move this tracker up to 3. And I will roll the resource dice again. Let's see what we get. We get gas. Look at that, guys. Another gas. See if you guys can see that. There we go. Gas. Okay. We get another gas. I'm cooking with gas. Okay. I don't think I increased my experience. Okay. So I have hit a mastery level on my board. So you'll see on your board here, there's kind of that little star. You guys see that star right there in next to the 4. So I have 2 mastery skills available to me. So whenever I hit this mastery, I have these little mastery tokens right here, and I can place one of them on my board. So I will use this on the sniper. Okay, I will gain this sniper skill, which says when using a headshot, increase the range or damage by 1. Okay, so I must use a sub stamina token. All right, these sub stamina tokens in order to activate that. Okay, look, so I've used my main action, I've used a side action, I've used my main gear action. I don't want to use any of these other cards, so we will move into the upkeep phase here. So I get all of my particular tokens back. I draw a card, which is Energy Blast. All right, so line of 2, deal 1 damage to the first target within range. You may pay resources to boost the damage by 1. Ooh, that could be an interesting battle there. Okay, the monster is now going to take his turn. So Queen's Roar. All right, target the nearest character. Move toward the target, then each minion attacks its nearest target. Okay, so he is moving 2. Now again, this is something that is also very tricky. In the rulebook, it says a character cannot explicitly move into a nest spot. It says nothing about the boss, but I'm assuming the boss has to follow the same rules as the characters. What else is I get to choose the path that this bad boy takes. So I'm going to go 1 and 2. We're going to come from behind here. And it does say move toward the target, then each minion attacks its target. So target the nearest character, move towards the target, then each minion attacks its nearest target. Each minion is not attacking. I would assume this guy is going to attack me as well. So he has moved next to me. He is going to attack me for 2. And again, I'm just going to take 2 damage on my Midas here. However, I'm going to play Invention. So after Midas takes damage, regain 1 shield, roll the resource die 3 times and gain those resources. So I will need to exhaust a sub stamina or a sub energy token for that. I get to heal 1 shield and we are going to roll the resource dice 3 times and let's see what we get. All right, so this is a question mark. That is a blank. And that is a gas. All right, so I will take another gas. Whoo-wee, we're trying to get in and get out. So I will take another gas and a question mark of my choice. I think I'm gonna take a scrap. All right, we will take a scrap. So that was the monster phase at the end of the daytime. Now moving into the nighttime, we will go to Clear Skies. Each player draws 1 card from their deck. Okay, what do I get? Electric Snare. All right, so deal 1 damage to the target, randomly discard 1 card from the target's hand, randomly discard 1 additional card. Whoo-wee. Okay, guys, well, look, I got to hightail it up out of here. I think what I'm gonna do is in my preparation phase, spend a gas. All right, we are going to move in this location here. And that's my preparation phase. Next, we will take the maintenance action. So my main action, move into the spot of the atomic coin. So I do collect the atomic coin. I don't have to search it. And I get to regain 2 shields. So I only have 1 shield to regain. All right, and then... Ooh. What I might do is I can search and gain more resources, or he's going to be on my tail no matter what, but I do have a plan for him. Okay. Doesn't matter. So search or heal. Let's see. He's moving 2 spaces and is probably going to hit me, so I probably should heal. So I will take the first aid action, discard X cards from my hand to heal. So I will discard this radar system from my hand, which is 1 card, to heal me up to full health here. And then my sub stamina, I can't really use because I can't attack any of these guys. Okay, so that is the end of my turn in the night phase. So boop and boop. Okay, we go to our monster. So the very first thing we're going to do is draw a card. We have the Queen's Roar again. Target its nearest character, move towards the target, then each minion attacks its nearest target. Okay, so he is coming 1 and 2. All right, he is going to attack, dealing 2 damage. So I will just take 2 damage to my shields here. And yep, I don't have anything else to play. I'll take 2 damage to my shields. And that is that. We do minions actions, okay? No minions are going to activate because they're not moving yet and I'm not near anybody. And then we will get rid of this frenzy level, or actually respawn minions first. So minions would respawn, and this would come off. And now our minions do gain 1 movement. All right, so back up into our day phase. Blistering Rain, all right? During this round, players cannot use the search action. Good, I don't care about the search action. I'm trying to hightail it out of here, people. So gas, use gas again. And actually, do I want to? Yeah, I'll come over here. I said I wasn't gonna play over here, but I'm doing it anyway, guys, because I gotta escape. So I will use 1 gas action to come there. All right, going on to my turn, I will use the maintenance action. So take my move action, regain 2 shields. All right, we will take my rider action and use headshot to, let's just wipe out this guy right here. We will wipe him out, move the tracker up to 4. I get to roll the resource dice here. And I get a scrap, okay? I get 1 scrap. And I don't have anything I want to play off that. Nope, don't have anything to play off that. I could have used to increase the range or damage by 1, but it doesn't matter. That is going to be the end of my turn. So we'll draw a card. Meditation, use the search action, draw 1 card. Pia gains 2 health. Okay, let me get all my stuff back here. Boop, boop, boop. And the monster is going to activate with his action card. So Furious Fangs, target the character with the most damage, move toward the target, then attack the target. All right, so he's coming 1 and 2. So he's going to hit me for 2 again. So 2 shields. We'll have him knock out 2 of my shields. And that is the end of that particular phase. Day phase is done. Night phase. I'm trying to move through this quick. I don't want this to be a super long video, guys, and I'm very close to ending this game. So during this round, all skills have their damage reduced by 1, all right? That doesn't matter to me, so we are gonna use the gas. All right, we are going to land on this spot right here. Now, you guys might notice something cool about this spot. This is a light green spot that has a subway symbol. So whenever you are on this spot, okay, what you can do is you take the move action, you can move to any other subway spot that there is on the map. So I am going to use my move action with a maintenance. All right, I'm going to move over here. This is going to unlock me a mastery. Using the radar sister, gain 1 additional resource. Using energy blast, increase the range. We'll just do that. And I don't think I've been using the, I don't think I've been going up on this particular track a whole lot. I forgot about that. Again, sorry guys. I'm trying to make this not so much a long video and just trying to show you guys the steps of it. So that was my maintenance action. I get to heal 2 shields. And then basically I don't have to do anything here. So I can take a rider action to search. And let's see what I get. Let me search, and it's a wild, so I roll the dice. And we do get a gas. All right, we do get a gas, which is exactly what I was looking for. And I will be able to end the game after this. Hopefully, if I survive this turn, which I should be able to survive it. So we will collect everything back, draw a card. We get the invention, okay? And now we are in the night phase, so we will take the night phase action. So our monster, Spiked Carapace, all right? So place the card next to the monster board. After this, the monster gains an ability. When the monster is attacked by a character in an adjacent space, deal 1 damage to the attacker. All right. So I'm just going to slide this right here. He will move 2. So we're going to move him 1 and 2. And of course, I am out of range of him. We will now activate all the minions. So minion here, minion here, minion here, minion here, and minion here. Okay, all the minions move 1 space and then they deal damage. So 1 damage to me. So I'll just take 2 damage from my shields. And that is going to be the end of the phase. So we are going to take this frenzy level. The monster now deals 1 additional damage. Moving into the day phase, all right? La Nina. During this round, players cannot use the first aid action. All right, that doesn't matter because we are going to end the game. In my preparation phase, I will use the gas canister to move 1 space. And then I will use my Midas action to use the move action moving off the board. And I have moved off the board with my atomic token and I am victorious. All right, guys. Well, look, that is an overview of how to play Barbaric and showing off the solo mode of this particular game. Now, I do want to note, guys, that this game was not designed for solo play. This is a, 2 to 4 player game. If you add in any of the other boxes, the expansion boxes, right, you can have teams on a 3v3, you can have 2v2 modes. This is a game designed for multiple people to be at the table to really enjoy the aspects of the game. However, the solo mode of this game, I do feel, is very, very fun. The solo mode allows you to try out all of these different combinations of riders and gears. There's 4 riders, 4 gears in each particular box. And I really enjoy that about the game is they give you an avenue to test out different combinations and cards and strategies and things like that. As you can see, the solo mode is somewhat rudimentary. It's basically like, can I just get the monster to follow me, move around, take the coin, get to a teleport spot and teleport away, and I am victorious. Very rarely have I lost in the solo mode because of that. But I hope you guys enjoyed Barbaric content. I know there's not a lot of English speaking content on here. Hope you guys enjoyed this content. If you did, smash that like button, hit that notification bell, drop down in the comments below. Did I make any mistakes? Because I am prone to making those. And what are your thoughts and opinions on the board game Barbaric? Finally, guys, if you are not subscribed to our channel, please go ahead and subscribe so we can keep bringing you some more awesome content. All right, guys, y'all have a great one. Bye.